Okay, let's dive into the story of someone pretty remarkable, Peppiqhilala Tarraqhavvez. On her home planet of Arreqqana, her name is a big deal. It stands for this incredible mix of elegance, sharp intellect, and just raw power. Today we're going to unpack the story of this warrior ballerina.
Strength is not louder than grace. Now, this isn't just some catchy motto she puts on a poster. This is her core philosophy. It's the principle that fuels every single debate she wins and every graceful move she makes.
So who is this 15-year-old warrior ballerina? I know, the phrase itself sounds like a total contradiction, right? But for her, it's just reality. Let's find out what makes her so incredibly extraordinary.
To really get who she is, we first have to understand her place in the world. As the radiant thread of House Tarraqhavvez, she holds a title that carries, well, an immense amount of weight and responsibility.
Yeah, you heard that right. Queen President. And she's only 15. This isn't some symbolic, ceremonial role either. It puts her right at the head of a society that's built on sacred discourse and some seriously fierce intellectual debate. And get this, her talents are all over the map. She's a top-tier public speaker, a martial arts prodigy, and a gifted ritual dancer. But beyond all that public stuff, she's a sister to 6 super protective brothers, and she's known for her very distinct style. We're talking purple velvet with gold fire edges, and of course, that signature hair bow. So, you might be wondering, where does all this power come from? It's way more than just raw talent. It's deeply connected to the spiritual traditions of her world, something they call the Weaver's Sacred Flame. Her spiritual path is defined by her chant line. You can kind of think of it like a spiritual frequency her soul is tuned to. Hers is Kasorrin, also known as the Weaver, and it's all about discipline, strength, and finding beauty in structure and movement. And right at the very core of her being is her birth flame, which is called Nedor. This inner fire is the engine for her joy, her empathy, and that razor-sharp emotional honesty that makes her such a force to be reckoned with in a debate.
So what happens when you combine these two forces, the Weaver and the Flame? Well, you get her unique path, the thread of flame. This is what pushes her to act when everyone else is hesitating, sparking massive change with her signature blend of charm and crystal-clear clarity.
Okay, so we've got the theory down, but let's see how all this spiritual foundation actually translates into real-world action. This is where her power becomes, well, you can see it, and honestly, it's a little intimidating.
36. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's how many formal debates she has officially won. And each victory isn't just a point for her side of the argument, it's a total masterclass in her philosophy of grace and unyielding strength.
Her defining win, the one that got her that Queen President title, came from a debate on a massive topic, the very nature of divinity. She argued for the divine feminine, represented by her goddess, Laalaë, and she secured a victory that was both spiritual and intellectual. Just brilliant.
Her debate style is, well, it's anything but traditional. She has this signature move that's a wild blend of the physical and the intellectual. Imagine this, a graceful ballerina's whirl straight into a powerful roundhouse kick, all while she's firing off these sharp, critical questions that leave her opponents completely stunned on every level. Okay, we've seen the queen, we've seen the warrior, we've seen the debater, but what about the actual person behind that public persona? Let's take a little peek at her life away from the spotlight. You know, her hobbies show this fascinating mix of that same intense discipline and just pure, simple fun. So yeah, she's practicing her high-speed roundhouse kicks, but she's also reenacting scenes from her favorite telenovelas, baking sacred snacks, designing her own hair bows, and even getting into competitive ribbon duels on the temple floor. I love this, because it really shows the two sides of her coin. Officially, her role model is this wise and respected coastal queen, but privately, she's all about a dramatic telenovela star. Her formal favorite food is a delicate pastry, but what she really loves snacking on are fried moon taro strips. It's this balance that makes her so compelling. You know, one of the best ways to really understand someone's impact is to see them through the eyes of someone who truly admires them. So let's shift our perspective for a minute. Meet Narriven. He's her 5th cousin, and without a doubt, her biggest fan. He actually chronicles all of her achievements in his diary, capturing this sense of awe she inspires in everyone around her. There's a line from his diary that just perfectly captures her almost magical presence. He writes,
When she stepped into the courtyard, even the jasmine knew to blossom for her. I mean, come on, it's like, to him, nature itself recognizes her greatness.
Right after that huge debate win, he runs up to her, calls her the resonance queen, and whispers that their goddess is smiling on her. It's just this moment of pure, heartfelt support that really shows you the deep bond between them.
So all of these different pieces, her power, her grace, her victories, her relationships, are all guided by one single defining mission, her personal vow.
To twirl through truths with grace. Just wow. It perfectly merges her physical elegance with her intellectual mission. It's a whole new way to think about confronting difficult ideas.
And the vow goes on to be a voice for the things nobody wants to talk about, and to shine without being ashamed of her own light. And it ends with this powerful promise, to use her inner fire to protect the gentle, vulnerable parts of the world. That, right there, is the essence of Peppiqhilala Tarraqhavvez.
So her whole mission is to navigate hard truths with both grace and fire. And that kind of leaves us with a question for our own world, doesn't it? What difficult conversation happening today could really benefit from her unique approach? Where do we need to learn to twirl through truth?